Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the QLS channel. We are here for yet another match of Super Rugby Pacific. This one, it is a massive clash. The Hurricanes taking on the Rebels. There is a top 8 spot currently really on the line for the Rebels. They do need to win this game and they need to win their game next week as well. But it will be interesting to see how they do end up going. They have mentioned in the preview of this match, the Hurricanes have never been beaten by the Rebels on New Zealand soil. So we have to wait and see whether or not that changes after this match. Come on the Canes. Says Jason there, and also Canes by 18. That's Nov Mum's prediction for this one, but it will be a very interesting battle. I'm looking forward to seeing Duplessis Karefi going head-to-head with Brad Wilkin, and then also you have got the likes of Rob Leota up against Isaiah Wakaleawere, Phillip up against Blackwell, Lomax up against Matt Gibbon, Farmer Silly up against Mafaleo. It's going to be a great matchup, and it is the second game of the Saturday of Super Rugby Pacific. Then the next game that we have got after this one will be Brumbies taking on the Blues, which is an absolutely huge fixture. I can't wait to see who does end up getting the better of that one, and it should be pretty exciting to see the Sevens alongside that as well, with Samoa taking on South Africa, and then a little bit later on Fiji taking on France for a spot in the quarterfinals. But Billy Proctor in the midfield alongside Geordie Barrett, so that will be an interesting combo to see how they go with the bus out on one wing. Josh Morby actually slotting in at number 11, so I believe that is rather than Salisi Rayasi, so a late change that they have had to make, and there is no Salisi Rayasi in the match, and also Seula Ma'i going to be there off the bench, and that is rather than Asafa Moore, so actually quite a few late changes for them, alongside Cam Roygard, now going to be the replacement halfback rather than Jamie Booth. They've had to make about 4 changes by the looks of it, and also I did enjoy the Chiefs game. There's Nov Mum. It was an exciting one. Currently 12 degrees there, 26 kilometres of wind in Wellington. And both of these sides, they will be excited to get themselves out there for round 14 of Super Rugby. The last game, the Rebels narrowly lost to the Chiefs. They were unlucky, and they are currently sitting themselves in 9th. And versus the Chiefs, they were able to score 3 tries. They missed 36 tackles, though, and that will certainly be the stat that they are a little bit concerned about. Then the Hurricanes, for this matchup, they have got their home field advantage, and it will be a big old testing factor for them in this game. Definitely with the amount of players that they had to miss out. And also we have got Ollie in the chat, and also hi Hamish, everyone. There's William there as well. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're excited for yet another game of Super Rugby, the second of the day. Michael Wells leading out the side, other than, of course, Andrew Callaway, who is a little bit further ahead, as it is his 50th game of Super Rugby, and he is raring to go for this game. Andrew Callaway, and will be hoping to pick himself up at least one try. He's been a little bit quiet this season, similar to what we saw with Marika Korombeti and the Rebels, but he was able to score not too long ago, and we'll be hoping to bring up a couple more. And Reed says hi as well. Welcome in, Reed. Hope you are doing well. The Hurricanes that had a narrow win up against the Waratahs. So both of these sides actually won by 5 or less points in last week's fixtures, and they are ranked 5th currently for the Hurricanes. And if they do want a chance of catching up with the Chiefs, they need to win this game, and they need to win their game next week as well. But first step is this game, and Duplessis Karefi will get to lead out the side now for the Hurricanes, and I believe that that will be also his 50th cap. So a couple big milestones coming up for certain players. But Duplessis Karefi, I have to say that yellow Hurricanes kit always looks extremely nice. But Duplessis Karefi playing his 50th Super Rugby match, and also Reed says that Keelan wants My Little Pony DVDs. And then also Ruben Love playing. Very excited about my Canes tonight. He is indeed. He is at number 15 for this matchup. Late change does mean that Salisi Rayasi is no longer at number 11. And instead it is Josh Morby, who's a very informed player though. So he should be completely fine out on that left wing. I see James O'Reilly. Was he? No, James O'Reilly also wasn't in the starting lineup, but he is now out there. So I believe there's no Dane Coles. Who else are they missing? Okay, they're actually going to be doing a haka here for the Hurricanes as well, but they are missing Salisi Rayasi. They are missing Dane Coles, Asafa Moore, and I think there's one other player, Jamie Booth, they don't have. So they're actually missing about 4 or 5 players here in the lineup for the Hurricanes. So we'll have to just keep a close eye on who else has been taken out there. I'm looking around, first of all, now for Tyrell Lomax, who I do see half of a face in the background of, I believe. But yeah, Seula Ma'i going to be coming off the bench. And also, who are the Chiefs playing next week? I believe the Chiefs have got themselves a game up against the Fijian drawer, which should be an intriguing one as the Fijian draw. They are a physical side, and they're not really the side that you want the last round before a quarterfinal, because or else then you're probably going to be feeling quite a bit of pain after playing up against them. Okay, I'm still looking to see whether or not we've got a Tyrell Lomax out there. Yes, we do. He is in the third row of the haka alongside Aidan Morgan. But it looks like no fear on the face of Tamati Ioane. And the Hurricanes, they have finished their haka, I think. Oh, no, there's a second part. Okay, there's one more little bit, and then they are ready to go. And also, what one superpower do you wish you had? If you had the chance to get, I feel like superpower-wise, I feel like invincibility would be pretty cool, because then I'd probably become some sort of like frontline officer or something like that without the fear of getting shot. Is that too deep? Maybe. And also, hi, Hamish, where's our man, Petty Wagon? And yes, David, I assume he will be here relatively soon, definitely for the Hurricanes game, as they are just about to get underway. And hope you're well, Hamish. Hay fever better tonight, says William. It's doing a lot better today than it was last week, so that is pretty good news. Hopefully, I'm almost through the hay fever stage, even though it's been like 2 months at this point in time. But yeah, hopefully it is slowly getting better, and it hasn't been too bad. I think I've only had to sneeze like twice today or something along those lines. And also, haka also takes place in these league games, or is it done only by the All Blacks and international games? It depends on the occasion. Sometimes these Super Rugby teams do have a haka prepared. So for this one, I believe it's because the Rebels, I think this was their first game on New Zealand soil? Surely not. Surely they've already played a game here, but maybe not. So that is why they did decide to do it. But it's also the 50th match for Paul Williams as referee. So 3 players and referee bringing up their 50th today, including Andrew Callaway, Angus Gardner, and then also it is Duplessis Karefi. But Carter Gordon will be kicking off this game for the Rebels now to get us underway for yet another match of Super Rugby Pacific round 14. Taken nicely by James Blackwell, who was able to drag it down, and now Perenara looking back into the pocket. Instead, actually goes for the kick himself off the left boot. Some decent distance on it. Research taking it nicely now with a step and a good attack and run. Geordie Barrett able to make the tackle on him. Isaiah Wakaliawere is a hard man to move, and he's got the clean turnover for the Hurricanes. Now Perenara goes back across the hands of Blake Gibson. Now Lomax back to Love, who is joining up with the line and may play a little bit more of a first receiver role perhaps throughout this back line. Once again, it is going to be going to Morgan. Now Billy Proctor has attacked the line quite nicely. Now back across, it will be TK Howden. Of course, no Artie Savia in this game. So the Hurricanes missing quite a few of those players. And I'm not sure whether or not that is completely due to rest or maybe a couple injuries slotting in there as well. It seems interesting, though, that they have had to switch out both Dane Coles and Asafa Amua, the 2 hookers that they would have had. They have lost both of them now. Tavita Mafaleo has been able to get that offside advantage in favour of the Canes. Now driving forward, and also with Mashala Uso. There's, I said, Johnny Long and Strong. I almost called it Johnny Long and Schlong there, but that would have been a mistake, wouldn't it? James O'Reilly now 40 metres out from the line, and they are going back now for the penalty in favour of the Hurricanes for that rush defence of the Rebels. Was just a little bit too quick. Now, I did quite like what the Rebels were doing up against the Chiefs last week, and what they did that I thought was very effective was that kicking behind. And I hope they follow it up in this game, because the problem was near the end of that game, they did take on a 3-pointer where they really should have gone for the corner, and unfortunately for them, it did cost them the game in the end. So we'll have to wait and see how it does end up going in the end. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, Geordie Barrett's going to kick it for the touchline. Some good distance on it, and it goes down to the 22 now, where it will be the line out for... Oh, Research is already limping. Okay, that's not good. That is not what you want for your fullback. And if I'm a Hurricanes player, I see that. And now I think, right, kick him behind. Let's test out that leg of Research. James O'Reilly throws it into the front, takes it nicely there. Gibson, now Karefi goes off to Perenara. Billy Proctor goes off to Aidan Morgan. Now he's in trouble, Research, and they're not going to catch the bus down the wing. And he goes in for the try, Julian Savia. So they did notice that Research was limping. That is something that is very hard to hide. And they decided straight away that is the side that we're going to go to. And Research, the question will be, can he continue this match now? Because he has already looked like he is in quite a bit of discomfort. But we will go Hurricanes try scorers. There we go. And the first try of the match, it is scored by the bus, Julian Savia out on the wing. Like they're saying, Julian Savia one-on-one is not what you want when you are out on the wing. Definitely not when you've got half an injury as well for Reece Hodge. He just couldn't quite catch him. And then from there, George Worth unable to make the tackle. And he went like this to Reece Hodge as if to say, like, where were you? But unfortunately, his injury might have been playing up a little bit. And also felt sorry for Reece Hodge. Always felt sorry for Reece Hodge. He's never really amounted to much and always seemed to not do the simple things right. And Julian Savia awakened. And then also, we're back. Let's go Hurricanes. And also, I kind of feel like this will be a close game. So here's Monsieur there. Currently now, Reece Hodge is still limping badly on that right leg. You got to bite the bullet, and I think you got to take him off. It sucks because, of course, you do not want him to be off the field this early, but I think he's got to go. I'm just going to check the replacement. Who they got on the bench? They have got Nick Juster, and also you got Lucas Ripley. So for me, you put one of those two in the midfield, you drop Callaway back to fullback, problem solved. Because a one-legged Reece Hodge is not going to do you any good, unfortunately. And also the bus in there as well. Now we're just waiting to see whether or not they do decide to make that sub or whether they take the risk. Because for me, this is going in behind. They're going to kick this as soon as they get at the Hurricanes, I would think. Because you're going to test out Reece Hodge under the high ball. And it's going to be taken nicely by George Worth. That is the best case scenario because the Rebels have now got this one back. Let's go Julian Savia, the bus and the bus. And there says Justin. And also Tesla going for the bus as well. Carter Gordon now back to Matt Tamua joining the line. Reece Hodge, he's still limping. He doesn't look good. In fact, the ankle's almost given out underneath him there. He can hardly stand Reece Hodge. He's got to go at this stage if they want any chance of being able to stop a counter-attack. He's pretty much walking right over to the sideline at this stage. Pune Fa'amasili, nice run forward. It is going to be the advantage now in favour of the Rebels, and they are going out wide. Good work from Matt Phillip there. In fact, it was Brad Wilkin who did see that he was injured. I don't think Tuttle realises he's injured, and they keep on going out to that side. He's trying to get the clean out. He's just managed to do so, but he's struggling at this point in time. He's literally on one leg still trying to defend. And also when will the All Blacks be starting up? So they have got their first game up against Ireland in July. So hopefully the squad is announced in the next kind of few weeks or so. They will be doing it. And also now it's going to be kicked downfield. That is the penalty, right? Get Reece Hodge off. It's not his night. And I also wonder if we see a game where the lead changes. And there says Nov Mum. It's a very good question. But Reece Hodge, where is he? Are they showing him any more? Okay, I think they're still deciding what they want to do here with this ball, the Rebels. But Reece Hodge, he's limping off. He has to go. Unfortunately, I said it many times that he had to go, but they are going to be taking on the 3 points, and it will be Matt Tamua. We'll be lining out this one, and also this is Finn McCarthy. And there's also welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also Hodge Dam says there, yeah, he doesn't look too good, Reece Hodge. And it is that right leg. And Lucas Ripley will be making his way out there. So they're saying it's a box kick that did end up. And gosh, you better take care of the injury, says he makes sure exactly right. The Wallabies, they are playing up against England in not too long. So he did charge forward. I think he just twisted the ankle. Or he came down awkwardly. It didn't even look that serious, but sometimes it's the ones that don't look too bad that are actually the worst. And I think it just kind of tweaked it the wrong way. And where will the Hurricanes stand if they win this with their bonus point, Hamish? Says Justin. So they are currently fifth. They will remain in fifth at this stage. A long time no see, says Finn. So I hope you are doing well, mate. I bet you possibly you are pretty excited for Munster versus Leinster a little bit later on tonight. That should be an awesome matchup to see. And also, yes, Tesla praying he'll be okay. Now Matt Tamua strikes it. And Matt Tamua gets it. And now the score will be 5 points to 3 in favour of the Hurricanes. But Reece Hodge, he's still in discomfort, even though he's just gone off the field. So now Lucas Ripley, he has made his way out there. For me, you probably... Oh. Okay, Israel Jag just said the reshuffle. I know that they said that Lucas Ripley's out on the wing. I don't know whether or not it's George Worth who's dropped a fullback or whether it is going to be actually Callaway who they do put back there. Nice run forward from Lucas Ripley. So only just made his way out there, and Canes are sixth, but we'll move up to fifth if they win. Oh, okay, sorry about that. I did get that slightly round the wrong way. I'm just going to have a quick look and see how many points they're on Super Rugby table. Oh, no, the Reds are in fifth, sorry. And that is 35 points compared to the Hurricanes, who are on 33 with the game in hand. Nicely taken by Ruben Love, driven backwards in the tackle by Punefa Amasili and 15p on who you want to bet. And there as well says Mark, and also we've got there Truce says Finn, and also short time no come. And there as well says MH Joy, but now Billy Proctor trying to drive hard at the line, but the Rebels, that's the thing, losing Reece Hodge this early on, you'd have to wonder what kind of effect it will have on the way that they do end up playing for the later stages of this game, because they won't have that extra substitution to be able to use. But Perenara now goes back across to Ruben Love, Duplessis Karefi with a nice step, and he's run straight into Tamati Ioane, and it becomes a penalty there. I think it was for not being back side entry is what they have called it as. So that is now going to mean that it is another penalty in favour of the Hurricanes. And also 1 Bell, 2 Falau Whainga, 3 Tupou, 4 Rodder, 5 Phillip, 6 Leota, 7 Hoops, and 8 Valentini. My Wally back to take on the Saxons. And there's a pretty decent side, to be fair. Angus Bell, he's been an interesting one, hasn't he? Because he has some games for the Waratahs where he really is everywhere, and then other games you hardly see him. So I feel like alongside that, do you think they'll go Seo or Slipper off the bench for that side? Johnny Long and Strong, do let me know. I can't wait for the Brumbies Blues match tonight. And also have the Rebels winning games this year. They have won 3. They were able to beat the Fijian drawer. They were able to beat Moana Pacifica. And they were able to beat the Waratahs or the Western Force, it might have been. But Billy Proctor runs in, and that is going to be another try for the Hurricanes. Great attacking line from Proctor. And they're trying to get themselves a home quarter final pass, but not everyone can have one, and that is going to be the big tester for them. But Billy Proctor does manage to score it. That is in the 10th minute of this game. So at least they took a little bit longer to be able to get over the line for that one. Very nicely done. That was Blake Gibson. Then a great flat ball from, I believe it was DJ Perenara, who just linked up beautifully. Yes, he did. Little short ball into the hands of Proctor and try. And there says Justin. Currently, this is going to be possibly one of those games that they need to try and stop that momentum as soon as physically possible for the Reels. And I is Ryan, did the Hurricanes do a haka? They did indeed. And I believe, is that because it's the first game that the Rebels have had on New Zealand soil? I think that is why they did it, if I'm not wrong, but I could have the wrong one there. And also we have got the Hurricanes 6, 33 points versus the Rebels in 9th on 16, and probably choose Slipper with Bell off the bench. Bell, in my opinion, is the best young Luciad in the Southern Hemisphere. He's got a huge amount of potential, that man. I mean, Southern Hemisphere is a very big call as well, but I guess is the best young guy. Oh, okay, so how about, Johnny, I'm asking all these hard questions. Best Luciad any age in the Southern Hemisphere and also Northern Hemisphere. I am curious to know who you think. And also we've got the Hurricanes 54, Rebels 17s, and come on, Hurricanes make it 50. And he got on the try line, says Mark. He certainly did. And Billy Proctor did have his try converted, making the score 12 points to 3. And also I think they did a haka because one of the Canes players are the 50th test. Also, it could be for Duplessis Karefi, do you think? Well, that match, because I know that Andrew Callaway also bringing up his 50th, and Angus Gardner, the referee, bringing up his 50th as well. On the halfway line now, it will be the Rebels who have got themselves this line out throw. Goes into the front, taken nicely by Michael Wells. Now offloaded up to James Tuttle. Tamati Ioane runs hard at the line. He has been dragged down on a good tackle by, I believe that is a man who I should recognise. Who was that? That was Josh Morby, actually, now that I think about it. He looks actually very similar to kind of a mix between Braden Iosi and also Devon Flanders, and also Kitsy, best Luciad in the Southern Hemisphere, Bahi, best Northern Hemisphere. And there as well says Johnny Blaze. Oh, sorry, Johnny Long Too Strong, or Long and Strong. And then now Carter Gordon goes back. That was a setup for Glenn Vaihu, who got driven backwards by Geordie Barrett. In fact, it was Blake Gibson who was able to make that tackle. No, it was Geordie Barrett. Blake Gibson just ended up popping up. They actually have a very similar haircut. I think they go to the same barber. But now Matamo White our pass out to Lucas Ripley. Goes for the chip and chase, but they're going back for a forward pass, they have called it as. So it was Mike Fraser on the far side, set that one, slightly travel forward, and also Samsung products. Apple products. Also, I don't like my Apple products as much as well as I like my Samsung products. So I guess it's just one of those ones. It's all down to preference, isn't it? Some people do prefer the Android interface. Some people would prefer that kind of Apple interface. For me, I think I had a Samsung up until I think just after high school, and then I switched to an iPhone 6, and I actually still have that phone. And when I talk to Siri, she doesn't understand Maori. When I talk to Google on my Samsung, do you understand me? I love you, Samsung. And there says Justin, and also we have got there, I believe it's because of it's a culture round in there as well. And also they must have done a haka in honor of Corey James finally letting go, accepting his age, getting rid of the hipster man bun. There's says Johnny and Strong. And also we have got the Canes have this. He's the NT guy, and they're sitting pretty nicely at the moment, 12-3 up, and that is going to be another scrum reset here. Okay, both of you are right into the front row. There's a comment from Angus Garner. They're saying that Josh Morby, he is lurking right out on the wing, and that man has been in some terrific form. I like the THC products, Toko, and there as well, the THC. That means something to do with the drugs, doesn't it? THC. What does that stand for? The hairy cat. No. Go my boys, says Paddywagon. And there as well. I keep on thinking of that video game company. Were they called THC or was that something else? There was something close to that. That's a little knock on almost from TK Alden, but luckily was able to regather an Artie Savia. And as I says, Louis is not playing for this matchup, but will certainly be one. Watch out for the All Blacks. Oh, so THC is the stuff in weed that makes you high. And there's the, so is it actually just called THC rather than, like, is that not shortened for something? Maybe not. What's the video game one that has, like, TLC? No, not TLC. That's a bloody show, isn't it? Or a program network. And go to the lineups. I've got the lineups for me, average please throw. Says Johnny, I do not for this one, but I can read them out for you. Just because I think I was running a little bit too far behind. And we were actually setting up me mum for her next live stream in the break, which you guys will get to see in a very short moment. And also far out, we are in for a long night, says Amelia. But the lineup has actually changed quite a bit for the Hurricanes. It is Mafaleo, then it is O'Reilly at number 2, and then Tyrell Lomax at 3. Then the locks, James Blackwell and Isaiah Wakaleawere, Blake Gibson, Duplessis Karefi, and then it is going to be TK Howden at number 8. Perenara slots in at 9. Aidan Morgan at 10. Salisi Rayasi is no longer out on the left wing, so instead it's Josh Morby, Barrett, and Proctor in the midfield, Savia, and then Ruben Love. So that is their starting lineup. I believe there are no changes in the Rebels starting lineup other than the fact that now they are missing Reece Hodge and also TES Tickles. And there's Johnny Long and Strong now hanging on to it for the Hurricanes, only 15 metres out from the line. James Blackwell driven backwards and a good tackle by Michael Wells. And also, I believe it was their number 2, Jordan Ulisi, to make the tackle. And also, told you Warriors will lose. I think you're thinking of THQ, Hamish. They are game creator. That's the one that I was thinking of that made WWE games. Yep. Back in the good old days, SmackDown versus Raw. I believe they were on it, weren't they? And sorry, Paddy Wagon Warriors don't have it in them. And this is Justin. TJ Perenara flicks it on the inside to Geordie Barrett, finds the offload to Ruben Love. He was almost tackled a bit high, and because of that, it is an advantage against Andrew Callaway for the high shot. Now Perenara goes back to Proctor. It was almost loose half a second there for the Hurricanes. That was close to 4. Blake Gibson goes down on the 22, still hanging onto it after 11 phases. The bus makes a couple of extra meters around the side of the breakdown. Now Perenara goes back to Lomax. Proctor short ball to Barrett. Tries to spin out, and he has lost that ball in contact, but it does go backwards for the Hurricanes, and that's probably been the big difference. Every time they've dropped the ball, it's gone backwards in this match, whereas if the Rebels drop it, it does travel forward. Electric Grass Juice, THC, and there as well, says Justin, and also we have got another day in the office for those boys, says Johnny Long and Strong, and also I'm juggling this and watching some of the Virgin River cast members' movies. We got new cast announcements last night. One of them is the favourite from the books. It's going to be Lost in Contact, and it goes back for the initial penalty in favour of the Hurricanes. But Josh Morby just putting that one down. But like I said, he's been very impressive throughout the last little while. Okay, there's a high tackle penalty. And for me, the Hurricanes, they will want nothing less than 5 points in this game. And I've given up on them a long time ago. I tried to see this year when they are doing well, but nah. Here's Paddy Wagon as well. Right, what do they decide to do? Currently, 4 penalties in a row. Well, actually, sorry, 4 out of the last 5 against the Rebels in this matchup, and Geordie Barrett will be kicking it for the touchline and trying to get that rolling ball going. But it must be a big change for them because they did initially have Dane Coles and Asafa Moa, but now it's James O'Reilly and Saulamau, or Saulamai, I believe it is, of the bench. And also we've got that low. It's only been a week and I'm already a mouth about Virgin River, says Amelia. So what date does it end up getting released? I feel like I should know this because you have mentioned it in the past, but it's coming up relatively soon in like the next month, isn't it? Now James O'Reilly goes to the back. Nice throw. Straight into the hands of James Blackwell, a fellow James, and now driving forward nicely. Looks like O'Reilly will be waiting for this one at the back. It doesn't quite pop back out for a minute. It is going to be the try and the rolling maul for the Hurricanes. There's someone underneath. I think it's going to be Blake Gibson. Is it? I think it's Blake Gibson who has been able to go over. And also we have got the, my understanding is that 8 teams go to the finals, says Fergus. That is true. So it is going to be the top 8 sides make it through to the quarterfinals. The top 4 get the home final, and then they will be versing, I guess, their respective sides. So 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5. And the winners of those go through to the semis. Will they be straight quarterfinals with automatic elimination? They certainly will be. So whoever's out of those quarterfinals, they are done. So all it takes is one bad game, and you could find yourself out of the Super Rugby Pacific competition, even if you're the number 1 team, whether you're the Blues, maybe the Crusaders, get themselves in a tough position up against someone like the Highlanders. Could be who they end up playing for that stage, but that is going to be Blake Gibson, who has now scored the try for the Hurricanes. They are scoring a lot throughout the early stages of this game, already sitting 17 points to 3 after only the 19 minutes. Also, we have new characters. The likes of Sam Sheridan is turning up. He's one of the most underrated characters in the books, as he is the father of Jack Sheridan. And also, I love the intensity TJP and Aaron Smith have in try. And also, I think New Zealand need to have more teams that make the comp, like the NPC Rugby and 2 Amazing Heartbeats, Tesla, and wow, says Fergus. So all it takes is one mistake, and you're gone. It's not even a 2-legger. Like, I don't think the teams would mind too much if it was 2-leggers. But pretty much, you make a mistake. See you later. Try again next year. Was that not the logic behind Moana Pacifica, as I says Fergus there, and also we have got there. That would be interesting. Anything is better than watching them lose every season for 20 season plus. And this is Justin, and also now I've got some Aussie friends who have supported the NRL teams for a lot longer, and they have not won either, says Justin. But now Geordie Barrett takes it nicely, currently 19 points to 3 in favour of the home side. Taken nicely by George Worth. Now puts up the box kick, waiting for it. That's going out on the full, unfortunately for him, and now it is going to be the line out for the Hurricanes. This could be a long day at the office for them. I've just done a bit of research about Virgin River. You know that it's about the love story of Jack Sheridan and Melinda Munro. Is it? I think my mum might watch it. I don't think I've seen any episodes of it, though, unfortunately. In fact, you could ask her about it on the Brumbies Blues live stream, because she will be joining us for about 20 minutes of their one of the Golden Rugby is calling this game at 42-17. I've called 18 or 20 games this year. I don't get any respect here in Los Angeles, says Mark there. So I guess, is that predicting who's going to win the Mark? Overall, or the exact score lines? That's because it must be, Los Angeles, you must be sitting at a random hour of the night, are you? No, you might be actually about midday. And also, yes, no support for the Warriors. I can no longer take the heartache they bring me, and also it is tough for the Aussie teams since the NRL is so popular over there naturally that attracts talented players away from Union, says Fergus. It does indeed. Although with the recent success of the Wallabies, I think it was helping them out just a little bit. But now 10 metres out from the line, the Rebels will have themselves this line out, and they do have to try and make their way over the try line at least once in this half. They are 8th in terms of the try origins of line out, where they have been able to get 19. And definitely will do, says Amelia there as well. Now it is going to be Jordan Ulesi. Does throw it into Rob Leota. Now waiting for this one, about 10 metres out from the line. And also we have got there Mel as a fictional character in Virgin River. She's a nurse practitioner and a midwife. Moves to Virgin River following months after the death of her husband. And Mark Blue, mad respect, great stat shot, brother. Says Justin there as well. Currently now Tuttle goes back across. It is going to be in the midfield for Andrew Callaway, who took some heavy contact in the process, but now straight over the ball to Karefi. Does give away the penalty. And unfortunately for him, that happens more time than not for Duplessis Karefi in a breakdown. He always risks it for the reward, getting close to the line now, trying to do a headstand by the looks of it. And now Pune silly. They didn't quite find the pass to him. Carter Gordon goes back to Moore. Had a bit of a juggle, and Lucas Ripley goes in and scores the try. Nicely done by the Rebels. And Lucas Ripley, he's only been out on the field for about 20 minutes. Has been able to make the most of it. As much as I love my Canes, I'm itching for the Blues versus Brumbies after this. There's and also NRL scouts vulturing around New Zealand kids' union grades. And there says that Johnny plays it also. I thought it's been, might have been Marilyn Monroe's sister or mother. And there is, but nicely done by the Rebels to fire back in this game. This seems like, once again, we're going to see a seesaw of tries. Every side in this competition has the potential of scoring many tries in a row. It's just whether or not they can put it all together in an effective way. But Lucas Ripley, he went over, scored the try for himself. And that now gives them a little bit more of a closer one. In this match, Ripley does not have a bracket in it. We go like this. And it is the 23rd minute. There we go. I've updated that one. And also we got there. Let's let it go. It's 12:30 a.m. here. My computer in my head, which is originally from Mangere, has called the results. It has called the results 18 out of 20 games. Tell you what, I feel like your computer needs to be a part of like the New Zealand TAB. Although saying that, it would probably go out of business if you got 18 out of 20 right for each and every round. But we have also got there another books we wrote back in 2007, and there's like 21 books in the series, and I've read each and every one of them. And also I hope the Pro Perenata can hop over the try line. And not going to lie, NRL is pretty fun though. I got to love those big hits and some real hot stepper says meh. Love that name. It reminds me, I assume this isn't why you've got the name, but it kind of reminds me of, on SpongeBob, how there's like those sardines, and they go meh. Those ones. And I think that's in the episode with Kevin the jellyfish cucumber thingy-mabob. What is he, a sea urchin? No. He's like a sea cucumber thing, I think. And does anyone know what I'm talking about, or am I just rambling about SpongeBob? Mark Blue, you might have to start a tipping channel, bud. And there says Justin also, call me crazy, but my favorite photo I got this season was the one I got with TJ Perenata during the Super Round. Says Amelia, that's the thing. The yellow kit always looks very nice. No matter where it is, unless actually they might have been wearing the black kit, were they, for that game? Although it's considered a home game, I think, for the Super Round, so they might have been in yellow. Now it looks like James Tuttle about to put up the box kit, and I was like, Matt, your name is how I feel about the Warriors, says Paddy Wagon. Now going to be taken nicely by Geordie. No, it's not. He's actually dropped it. That's a rare mistake from Geordie Barrett, and becomes a penalty as well in the process. So the Rebels, we're hoping for their best. And also I had the pleasure of passing on some advice to TJB before he was an All Black. There's Justin, nicely done. What advice was it? They wore the black kit in that one. Says it was Amelia. Apparently now they are going to get the Rebels another line-out opportunity from about 25 metres out. And Jordan Ulysses about to feed this ball in. And also, who you rooting for, Blues or Brumbies, Johnny? A big fan of Payne, Haas, David Fafita, TJP, Nelson Solomoni, big, powerful and strong. Some of the ABs lack, or some of the ABs lack, also, or Uisuli there as well. And also, let's go, Johnny Marco Vanapola Beer Blaze. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? But 40 metres out now, the Hurricanes with Isaiah Waka-Leawere. Let's crash it up. It actually doesn't make a single metre. It actually ends up exactly where they were. Now George Worth tells us if he was going to do the kick, but now it's a bit of pressure on Michael Wells. Davida Mafaleo trying to hold that one up. And it becomes a penalty for a high tackle. Can't keep playing him around the head. And also Matt and Fish speak as well says it was meh. And also he is very choice. And also, gentlemen, I will start offering a tipping channel when I can trust the Warriors, not holding my breath, says Mark. Okay, so it might be a little while before we see that one, but hopefully once it does fire up, do let us know about it, of course. And also, Brumbies, with Chiefs, man, I want them to fall because they're looking so damn dangerous or darn dangerous. And evening, Hamish, everyone. Hope all as well, says Nathan. It certainly is, mate. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're excited for the amount of Super Rugby and sevens that we have got on tonight. And also, you got to feel bad for the Warriors, though, says Amelia. And it's amazing how many teams from across the world snap up Kiwi coaches and then do really well against us. Here's Justin. So I guess if you can't beat them, join them or sign them, I guess you could say. And I say, yes, says Nathan. That one that's gone over the top. And now James O'Reilly able to jump on it. Brad Wilkin does drag him down. Now Perenata going off to Gibson. Barrett Does a wide cutout pass, skipping about 3 of the players in that Hurricanes backline. That one just goes into touch, about 15 metres out from the line. And now the Hurricanes, they are going to have an attacking opportunity. Another yawn. I think it's because the fire's going, so it's actually quite cozy in here at the moment, even though it is only 10 degrees outside. It is more than 10 degrees in here. That's a mistake. TJ Perenara, he juggles it, though. He was only a metre short. The amount of respect I've got for the Warriors, considering they've had to sacrifice everything to come to the comp again, or to keep the comp again, keep the comp going. And Auckland Blues 48, Brumbies 31. Oh, that's a high scoring one, isn't it? It could be the case. And also TGB sounds like he's had a few too many huis and has turned woke. See, I don't know what half of that means, but I assume it's probably, like, that's the thing. He was slamming the ball down before he had it there, TJP. I know what woke means. I don't think I'm much of a wokester. How do you become woke? I feel like I was thinking about that very deeply. Maybe you turn vegan. And I was aware of that. And they've had talks of creating a second New Zealand-based league team. What a joke, Warriors are just a filler team to expand the comp. And also up the game, says Daniel Cox, and also Cole Amelia. And also, playing 2 seasons away from home is no easy feat. Exactly right. And hopefully, they do get some home games soon. They were actually supposed to have some this season, weren't they? Do you know if they're still taking place? And also, what has TJP done to show he is woke? Says Fergus there as well. It's a very good question. And also, to why would they have ambitions of a second team? And there says Johnny, and also Blues going to kill the Brumbies the way they have been playing. Says Paddy. And they've been looking very strong, although they're going to be missing their Ioane brothers. No Tom Robinson either in that matchup. But they have got Bowden Barrett. They have got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Caleb Clark still there. Going to be looking good. And you become woke once you start getting excited about electric vehicles, soccer, and other men, says Mark. And also South Island team for the NRL. And I'm going for the Blues because they are on a roll lately. Says Tiesa. But currently a massive lead in the competition for them. And they have only lost one game, and that was actually up against the Hurricanes. Imagine if we get to see Hurricanes versus Blues once again. Because I feel like that's probably the one game that they don't want. Anyway, and whereas the Chiefs on the table after that win, they are still sitting in 4th, but they've closed the gap between them and the Brumbies just a little bit more. So if the Brumbies lose up against the Blues, there's a chance that the Chiefs can overtake them on the table. Now, TK Howden only 2 metres short. This is looking dangerous for the Hurricanes. And once again, this could be try time. James Blackwell gets close. He has dragged down, I believe it was Ponefa Amasili. Oh, it's a little knock on the ground, and soon too. And also in there says Johnny Longstrong. And also we have got there, why does, what does woke? Are there so many rabbit holes? Choose one. And there, says Justin. And also we have got there, I think a try will be scored soon. Alrighty, so have you got an exact minute of it? And also Tesla, my boyfriend, has one. And there's nothing wrong with electric cars. Says it was Tesla there as well. That's the thing, Tesla as the name. Of course, the moment Elon Musk, he does pretty well. And also that is the odd outcome. The Hurricanes could knock out the Blues, even though the Blues are nearly unbeaten, says Fergus. But that's the thing with quarterfinals rugby. You never know who you're going to come up against. And they could just be your bogey team. And my advice to TJP was believe in yourself and always respect your mum. And there says Justin, and also we have got there, go Hurricanes, because we have had windy weather lately, including a tornado and 11. I did see that ended up happening the other day. I haven't seen any images of it or anything along those lines, but it's not really something you want around and try scored in the 35th minute by whatever team. He's not liking the predictions. That is about 3.5 minutes time. It's a big push, and the Rebels get the penalty. Just listening to James Tuttle fire up the fullback. He said, F yes, awesome scrum. He was very happy with the performance from the front row in that one, and also a couple of big pushes from the locks as well. Ponefa Amasili is actually taller than I thought he was. Probably an extra few inches. But also Canes score in the 33rd minute, and hello everybody, go the Canes. Says John there, and currently doing very nicely. Like I mentioned, the sun, it wasn't really out today, but the fire is going. And this jersey's quite warm. And also, I hope our brethren in 11 are okay. That tornado looks scary. And there, as I said, Johnny Long and Strong. And also, my uncle just arrived. And my lunatic of a cousin as well. The good news is we both love the Rebels, says Amelia. And I'll say he was absolutely wrapped. And there says Mark, he certainly was at all time. A Hurricane supporter, though, or through and through. born and bred, but man, I'm looking forward to the Blues game. It's a strange year in Kiwi Lad. Would there be a demand for a Christchurch-based NRL team? I don't know. To be honest, I mean, the Warriors at this stage, I guess they've really lost their fan base. So if you add a new team, you've got to make sure they sign some big stars so that everyone gets behind them from the get-go. Because or else then they're just going to be a dead rubber kind of side, which is the last thing that they want. But I'd like to see it, but then I also think they'll wait a lot longer. They get adding the Dolphins, aren't they, next? Bonifafa'amausili is 196 centimetres, 135 kgs. What a mountain of a man, and Geordie Barrett was going through. But it is going to be going back for the forward pass. And also, they are fun. Says Mark, and also that tornado is my ex-mother-in-law and swearing with hype. And also, I love hearing the players swearing after winning a scrum, etc. And also, it always is a good feeling to get praised by the loose forwards at scrum time. Says JSB, and also, don't trust NRL and Rupert Murdoch. Reason why I don't follow rugby league, it's a joke. Okay, so it's a penalty for offside to the Hurricanes by the looks of it there. And also, someone please tells me James is pleased with what he sees. Well, something tells me James is pleased with what he sees. He is indeed. Although now he won't be too happy because they're only a few metres out from their own line. And Geordie Barrett kicks it into touch. My biggest problem with the NRL has always been the refereeing, and sent my mother-in-law on holiday recently. I see. It's very generous of you, Johnny. So they have fun, says Mark. James O'Reilly. Can we see a try on the 35th minute for Novmum here? We're currently sitting at 34 and a half minutes. Blake Gibson goes back to Perenara. It's going to be Ruben Love. Close. He springs back up to his feet, spins out of a couple more tackles. And now going down 5 metres out from the line, TJ Perenara goes back across to Billy Proctor. Still going forward by just a couple more inches as Iwaka Geordie Barrett goes off to Blake. Or not Blake. It's not his name. It's James Blackwell. Well, Novmum, you have absolutely nailed that one. Because it was about 15 seconds off. Well, and look at the Cats as well. One of them's more asleep than the other. And is that rugby in between them, I see? Possibly. Rupert owns the NRL. And also, we've got the 20 seconds to spare, says Novmum. And also, Geordie Barrett setting up a roller maul. And my main concern is the concussion. The concussion. There are high tackles galore, says Fergus. It's nicely done by James Blackwell. So he is the first James to score of the day. We've had Julian Savia. We've had Blake Gibson. We've had Lucas Ripley, Billy Proctor as well. And now James Blackwell does get his name on the try scorers list. We will go like this. And we will go like that. And also, we've got that try time. It was indeed. And Ruben Murdoch ruined Rugby League. Warriors stuffed up by joining Super League. They still haven't recovered from it. And also, we've got the Hurricanes will play the Blues in the playoffs maybe. And Rupert tried owning Super Rugby. They gave him. And there says Nathan. And also, try time. And try says Tesla. Very, very well done, Novmum. See, that's the thing. Normally, I end up risking it and saying, can you predict it again? But I think today, because you've absolutely nailed it spot on, I'm going to say you're 100% on that one. Because I feel like if I ask you again and you say 50th minute and it's maybe 60th, then I'll feel bad. But now, going to be taken nicely by Josh Morby inside of the 22 and straight away an attacking play for the Hurricanes. Once again, he hopped on the try line. Says it was Mark Roberts and Rupert Root Dude. You see ya, mate. Says Johnny Long and strong. Taken nicely by Geordie Barrett. He was possibly taken in the air a little bit from George Worth, but I think he was also contesting for the ball. So that is why it is going to be play on now. Billy Proctor trying to find his way straight through the gap. Beautiful offload. No, it wasn't. It goes straight to Jordan Ulysses. So other than the fact that it went to Ulysses, it was a good offload. Now James Tuttle, ball on the outside. It goes over the head of Glenn Vaihu, and it will be the line out. Good work, Novmum. You shape-shifting, time-traveling reptilians. It doesn't mean my Landers are there chilling on the table. Is meh. And there's they are sitting not too badly at the moment. And the good news for them is, as long as the Rebels lose this game, the Highlanders cannot go out of the top 8. If the Rebels win this game, though, somehow and fight back, then that means that there's still a chance that they could be overtaken. But currently, with the Western Force losing their game to the Chiefs, Perenara's kick has almost gone backwards. And he's going to have to take it himself. Geordie Barrett hasn't got it. And now Matt Phillip with the advantage. Massive mistake from TJP. And now it does lead to the Rebels having a good attacking opportunity. It's going to be an offside advantage as well for offside. And gains the score between before 43 minutes. And there, now Carter Gordon puts up the cross kick. Lucas Ripley trying to glide. It goes into touch, and it will be going back for the penalty. And Tesla may also, and I scored yesterday, second time this week. I mean, there's a few things that you could be referring to, of course, Johnny. So my cousin has been sitting next to me for 5 minutes, and he's extremely close to smashing the TV. Says Amelia. Hello, Amelia's cousin. Hope you are doing well. Other than, of course, the score at this point in time. Hopefully the match does go all right for you. And Henry Ford is my Uso, says JSB, and also New Zealand final, says Michael, and also Ball from TJ, said Uno reverse card, says Mia. Yeah, he almost managed to get it backwards, just something you don't really aim for as a kicker. So currently, I'm actually going to mention how the table is sitting right at this very moment for who the matchups would be of the quarterfinals. This will not be conclusive at this point in time, but if this match stays the way that it is, the way that the table will be sitting, it would be the Blues versus the Highlanders, the Crusaders versus Waratahs, Brumbies versus Reds, I think it would actually be, and then the Reds versus Hurricanes. That is not what the games are going to be, though. That is just how it would currently be sitting with the result of this game. And also a ball from TG. And also interested, I watched the UK League match a week, or watch one UK League match a week and see how they tackle. Head high seems less. The tackle is more an up-down hit than a backward hit. There's Eric there. At this point, it does seem like all of the New Zealand sides will be able to make their way through to the final of Super Rugby for the quarterfinals, that is. It's kicked into touch, only 5 minutes out from the line now. If they score here, it would be a massive opportunity for the Rebels. And it's interesting, in the first 15 minutes or so, there were 5 penalties against the Rebels, 1 against the Hurricanes. Now in the last 15 minutes, we have had 4 penalties against the Hurricanes and 1 against the Rebels. Jordan Ulysses got this one at the back of the rolling maul, and it is rolling backwards. And Dan Carter's banana versus Landers, or banana kick versus Landers at Carisbrook is my favourite Super Rugby moment until the Hurricanes won the competition. And there says JSP, that was a big shot on Carter Gordon by Duplessis Karefi. And he's tackling him again, which he already got rid of the ball, so I don't think you're allowed to do that. And also step aside for Fakatava. There says Johnny Long and Strong. And of course, Fakatava now eligible for the All Blacks. So it will be interesting to see whether or not he does get that nod. Now, TJ Perenara, I think if you're the Hurricanes here, you just tap and go. Or tap and kick it into touch, do you? Or are they going downfield? It looks like the Hurricanes want one more attacking opportunity here. JSP, our legendary. And as I said, Johnny Long and Strong. Yeah, the way that he got that ball to just, I guess is the best way to describe it. Like a banana in arrow. Shows all games in full on YouTube. So I watch a lot of them. I do not watch the British games. Says Burgess, and also Arcade Try coming up, says Novmum. There as well. But the Blues versus Brumbies, that match will be taking place a little bit later on tonight. 9:45 p.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. It should be a very epic contest. First versus third. I can't wait. It's going to be a great game. Also, at the same time, we are going to be doing the Sevens, Samoa versus South Africa, as a separate live stream. We have got a co-host that will be taking over for the Blues versus Brumbies live stream for about 20 minutes while we are away. What a legendary moment. Looks like he was going to miss it. And also that one will be dynamite. And there says Fergus for the Blues versus Brumbies. But now the rolling maul's starting to open up for the Hurricanes once again. Told to use it. TGP goes back to Barrett, who runs hard at the line. Currently the third highest point scorer ever for the Hurricanes. There's a man in first, though, and that is his brother, Bowden. Now, TJ Perenata moves up to the 22-metre line. Tuttle. Looks like that was almost stolen in the breakdown. Tyrell Lomax. We're looking to try and get himself an All Blacks jersey this year. And also we have got the Manu Samoa and also Grant Fakatava, some sort of Maori Tangata Whenua resident status. And he'll be directly All Blacks. And there's us, says Johnny. And also far out, says Amelia. And also we have such a polite and honest chat room. Love it, says Justin. It is awesome. And I feel like that is what makes the rugby like so enjoyable week in, week out. Like there's a few random jokes that come through, but none of them are said out of like, I guess, full on like aggression or anything like that, if that makes sense. Like everyone just comes here to have a fun time watching some rugby. But currently 42 minutes through this game for the first half. And now Geordie Barrett going to be kicking it for the touchline, and they will go for the line-out. Blues versus Brumbies, says John there. So I will mention for that live stream, I will be doing the first 30 minutes of that commentary by myself. And then after that, we will actually be switching over so that it is my mum who is going to be doing the commentary. And she might have a guest as well in the process. And then from there, she will be doing the next 20 minutes or so, including halftime. And then after that match between Samoa and the Blitzbox is finished, I will be coming back and finishing off the match, and she will be heading to bed at that point, as it will be about 10:45 or so. And it's interesting to see all the explanation or expansion teams are at the bottom. Says Fergus, and I've pretty much got the entire family right now, and I swear this always happens on election day, and it's a classy chat room. And also Rupert Murdoch owns everything. That is going to be now halftime. At this stage, the Hurricanes only a metre or so short, but hasn't quite worked out for them at that point in time. So 26 points to 8 going into the second half, and also Lomax, all the physical attributes, but unlike his father, he lacks that mongrel mindset and doesn't know how to use that size, and talking or taking on the established teams as a tall order. And also we have got there, are you off on a hot date, Hamish? Says David. Not exactly. Well, I guess depends on how you look at it. Samoa are playing South Africa in the sevens, which I would consider a pretty big fixture. And I'm excited. Is it on TV, says Connor? If we are talking about the Super Rugby, it is on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. If we're talking about the sevens, it is on Sky Sport 2, and it's currently going. And also, I used to watch an Aussie YouTuber. He attacks a subscriber quite harshly and verbally not good, brother. And also be right back, brothers and sisters, says a Tesla there as well. But yeah, I don't think I've ever had a proper go at anyone. That's the thing, like I mentioned earlier on, like I can't look angry or else I just like I don't know how to do it. Just doesn't work. And will you have a lady joining you? Says Fergus, I will, but it is my mother. And she will be doing it from the kitchen or from the dining room area. I've actually got her set up with quite a nice set for this matchup. We are going to have her in front of the curtains. She's going to have a microphone, a webcam that's better than mine because she is going to be using our other recording one. And she's also got some lighting as well. So there you go. Morning. I'm not sure at this point if I'm dreaming, I'm watching you, or I'm actually watching you, says Fleshin. It's a very relatable feeling. And some of South Africa, that is as hot as dates get, says Matt. And also, is that sevens on TV in Ireland? I don't think so. I think it's on. Is it on Premier Sports in Ireland? No, it might be on Sky. I'm not actually too sure, but they have got the World Rugby YouTube channel that you can actually watch the games for free on if you're in the right country. And when will Club Rugby World Cup happen? Blues versus Leinster, Satyrs versus La Rochelle, Chiefs versus Chiefs, mouth-watering internet. And Amelia, you and your cousin are obviously the same ones in your family. And also we have got there's only one Aussie YouTuber who gets mouthy with the chat as well. That's Come Down Davis' sons that are too close to their mothers like electric cars, says Mark. Yeah. I have got her at this stage. She was going to have a guest on the live stream. It was going to be George, but I think he is going to the pub instead, so he is not going to be available. And then I was going to get Isaac, but I think he is also unavailable at this point in time. But hopefully, still all run smoothly. And also, can you see my message, brother? And there says Sebastian, your message. One moment. Is it one of those subscriber ones, Sebastian? Maybe. Because if it is, I will go like this. And I will go like this. One moment. I'm going to see it. And also, we have got there Marky. Yes, also yes. And there's we will go like this as well. It's almost loaded. One moment, Sebastian. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it right now. Or was it on Discord? It might have been on Discord, was it? Because I do not see the Sebastian message on there. And you're a nice guy with a heart of gold. You don't have that Australian aggression and fire, says Justin. Also, we have got there was one of the reasons I got into rugby in the first place. I am quickly going to check on whereabouts is the message, Sebastian. So I don't think I can see it. And also now I've been commenting since the 10th minute. I noticed you weren't reading them out. I don't think they came through. No, they haven't. I feel bad now. What have you been writing, Sebastian? I feel like there would probably be a few zingers in there that I've completely missed the opportunity to allow you to express. Just saw the Warriors game. And as well says Mark. And also we have got that. It's not on TV in Ireland, says Connor. So we will be covering a little bit. And also I was watching the train be run on. No, he's just busy, I guess, at this stage. And also I've been slagging off the Rebels. I see. I was like, nah, bro, your messages weren't coming through. So I guess did you reload it, Sebastian? And now it is, I guess, working for you. But that's unfortunate. I always wonder how many people have been writing messages and think I'm just ignoring them for no reason. Like, because I know that in the past, like we had people, I think it was the guy from Mongolia, wasn't it? Who was that? There was a fella from Mongolia who thought that I was ignoring him, but his messages kept on getting deleted by YouTube for some reason. So they just kept on getting rid of him, which I felt quite bad about. G'day, Mumsy. You want to do a plug for your live stream? I appreciate it, Justin. There's Sebastian as well. You excited for the game? Don't talk me out too much. We'll give you a big old hype up. You'll get way more likes and donations than I ever did. I was watching Hurricanes versus Rebels, and you're back, Sebastian. And there says David the Mod as well. And Sebastian, I think you have been posting onto your my boyfriend's OnlyFans site. Your secret's safe with Hamish and I. And Mark Blue there as well. Currently now, they were able to get themselves quite a few tries throughout that first half. Gibson was able to get one, couple tries coming the way of, it was in the end, Julian Savia, Billy Proctor, and then also Blackwell able to score it. And also we have got their sweet brother, and also Canes to score. Okay, Donna, how's it? Oh, she's gone. I just looked over. I realized she just put some wood on the fire, and then, hello, how are you? David asked how you are. Yeah, good, thanks. She's good. She's excited for the... I'm going to start drinking. She's going to start drinking, she was just informed me. And also we have got there, Canes to score a try within 7 minutes of the second half. Says Nov Mum there. And also, if it's before the 43rd minute, then you are bang on with the prediction once again, because we don't really count those extra moments. And appreciate it, Mark. And there as well, says Sebastian. Johnny Blaze. Oh, sorry, not Johnny Blaze. TJ Piranata. And Hurricanes to win, boss, says Peter Stour. Does look pretty good for them at the moment. Who are you picking for the Blues versus Brumbies? Do let me know, Peter. And also, that's a curved sense of humor you have there, brother. And also, if they're Rebels, why do they put in red? Or why do they play in red, white, and blue? Oh, plot twist. And there, currently, Geordie Barrett, he's got a hair in his mouth. That's unfortunate for him, but it looks like they're having a bit of a huddle with the backs and then also the forwards, two separate ones for the Rebels. But Matt Tomoa able to get the 3 points, but Reece Hodge injured in the very early stages of the match was certainly not what the Rebels would have been asking for. And currently, we are only an hour and 45 minutes away from our next live stream, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also, Max has said, hi, Hamish, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also, yeah, this stage, another big matchup just around the corner. Then there is Highlanders versus Waratahs. I'm going to be honest, that one will be the hardest one to get up for, to be honest, just because it's going to be at a random hour of the night. Well, not really, but random hour of the night for me because of the time I'm going to bed. It will pretty much be I go to sleep, I wake up 6 hours later, do the live stream, go back to sleep, and then do another one. And I'm betting $25 free bonus point for 1 to 10. Do you think it will happen? It's going to be a tricky one. Following also, it might be time to pop open the chalky milk and make the pain go away. I don't see us winning this, says Amelia. And also, we have got Hi Hamish from Max. And also, how's the man, says David the Mod. And also, I hope to have a hair in my mouth when my girlfriend finishes work. Wait, your girlfriend or your boyfriend? Your boyfriend was here earlier. Do you have a girlfriend and a boyfriend, Matt or Mark? If so, I feel like that's the thing. It's 2022. A throuple, you could be called, I guess. But yeah, I was got there yesterday. I read an article all about the dangers of drinking alcohol. It really scared me. So I have decided not to read that article anymore, says John. So I guess still the alcohol's on the table there. Also, we have got there. Did you just mention my name with TJ? No, Hamish, no, says Johnny. Yeah, I feel like your name was running through my head again because of the fact that you do always call them woke. So it just came to mind straight away, almost a bit too naturally. And of course, we do know that Johnny Blaze, when he plays rugby, he's like 7 foot tall, 150 kgs, and he plays number 8. And also, we have got there the terminology is F triangle. And also, we have got there Coco Guy. And as says Justin, and also we have got their Blues or Brumbies, says Max. I'm picking the Blues for that game. It's going to be tough for them, though. It's certainly not going to be easy. But if they start the match well, like I feel that they can, the Brumbies will be put under pressure from the get-go. And that's what you got to do at GIO Stadium. We saw that from the Crusaders. You put them under enough pressure, they do eventually crumble just a little bit. But then they fought back in the later stages of that game up against the Crusaders a little bit as well. Currently at halftime, 26 points to 8. And also I have a throuple last week. I had a throuple last week, but being a doctor, a quick round of antibiotics took care of it. Nicely done. Wait, so you're a doctor as well. So not only are you, as your words, the god of rugby, you're also a doctor in your spare time. Or I guess, does the doctoring take up full time and then the spare time goes towards being the god of rugby, or is it the other way around? You know, it might be Blues to win by 15, says Max. Interesting. I can't remember what my prediction was. I think I said the Blues by 15 as well in my preview that came out on the channel about 5 hours ago or somewhere around there. And Justin with the thumbs up. And also we have got the laughing face as well from Amelia. And also we had some comedians, or we got some comedians tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing, I was thinking about it. I don't think I could ever do stand-up comedy because, like, I mean, I have some jokes, but they need context. So you kind of need that full, 2 minutes or so to go through your routine and your set and whatnot so that you kind of warm everyone up to it. And also, I don't have a girlfriend, but I have a mate. And there's Peter Stowers. And also, there's a menage, trios going on here. And there's us, says David. That's the thing. Yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? Was it on a live stream or outside of a live stream? Pretty much 2022 is a year of doing whatever people want to do in terms of what they want to be called, what they want to do with their lives, what relationships they want to be in. And I feel like it's just one of those ones that everyone has become more and more accepting. Like, if I wanted to be a pot plant, I could be. Like, as long as I say I am a pot plant, I'm a pot plant. And you have to refer to me as a pot plant or else it's insensitive. And I was like, Amelia, you have such a great attitude towards rugby, and that's ideal if you pump punchline after punchline, run out of material before you know it. And there's Sebastian. Yeah. See, that's why I feel like you guys, you hear what I say, and then you're like right onto the jokes, like pretty much straight away, and it's always something different. I was in a throuple for 4 years without the benefits, just the earache. Nice. And I was like, oh yeah, the alcohol's still on the table, and also a freckle on your nipple, says Justin. I see. And also we won it was tough at least. We got a home quarterfinal plus Khaleesi is a great man. Respect for him taking pics with the people. So here's Greg Agowa. But yeah, massive win for Ulster. And they have now got that home quarterfinal. And it's just that question, who's it going to be up against? Amelia Hamish is a New Zealander. He was born with a winning attitude. And they managed some three-way loving going on in there. Says it was David. At this stage, they are just showing an ad for the Warriors scoring. That's how we know that it's an ad, because it doesn't normally happen. Sorry, I can't say that. You enjoy TAB, though, and you get yourself a bit of a bonus bet. And also, I just had a look. You did say Blues by 15, says Max, and also good to see the Rebels hanging in there, even though the Canes will knock them out convincingly in the second 40, says Sammy Sosa. And also, we have got there. It doesn't last long, though. I'm sure the bottles are getting smaller. It's probably like everything, though. How like toffee pops and whatnot. I don't know why they're the first thing that came to mind. I saw an ad for toffee pops ages ago. But like everything is shrinking in size, but they still charge the same. I think Johnny Blaze was mentioning this earlier on. And even like liquids, I feel like they don't write it on the bottle that it's smaller, but I feel like if you actually measured it, it could be. How do we know the bottle isn't thicker? Although saying that, you'd be able to sue, wouldn't you, if they didn't give you the liquid that you were after? And also, I'm an Aussie that loves the Rebels and the Wallabies, says Amelia. And of course, coming up relatively soon, we are going to get to see some very exciting stuff involving the Wallabies up against England. And also said 48, 31, 17 points, but I'm viewing from Los Angeles. And there as well, says Mark. Physicality when we're carrying. What accent is that? Been a bit too easy for them. Is it Blackpool? No, probably not. But it is the coach or the assistant coach of the Rebels, the Endroids. Play to the rook. We know we need to. What is that accent? It's not quite Scottish, but it's not quite not Scottish. And also, I guess it's Rebels over the Storm for you. And also, I spent on that. My wife's friend lived with us for 4 years. We did everything together. 2 wives. Says Fletcher there. And how's Black Ferns doing? Says Max. They're looking pretty decent throughout the early stages. So they should be making it through to the quarterfinals, which are later on tonight, which we will be covering on the channel as well. Currently, the Hurricanes, it looks like there's a few people in attendance. And my pick was Blues by 12 or under. It'll be close. My pick is within 5 points. And yes, sort of. And I played rugby for the Las Vegas Blackjacks way back in 1999 was a good experience. And there says Justin. So yeah, you've probably, I think you said before as well, or on a past I've seen you were connected to one of the MLR teams, aren't you? If I'm not wrong. Currently now, it is going to be TJ Perenara making his way back out onto the field. I do see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names starting with J in the starting lineup for the Hurricanes at 2 wise, bro. You cracked it all right, or you cracked it all right. It sounds like one of those northern ones. Could be a Lancastrian. We're not sure till I hear it. See Sebastian there as well. In fact, I've forgotten what his name was. One moment. Rebels coaching staff. We're going to work this out. It's not Kevin Foote. Is it David Weasels? Nope, that's not him. Staff for the Rebels. We're going to find him. But Paul Williams now gets us back underway for the second half. I'm a New Zealander and in the Hawke's Bay / Wellington there, says Jordan. Also, a freckle on your nipple was referring to a hot redhead. She knows who she is. Says Justin. A hot redhead. I see. Jeff Parling. Does anyone know where Jeff Parling is from? I'm going to search for him. Played for the Newcastle Falcon. Is an English rugby coach. Went to the University of Newcastle Durban School. Born in Stockton or Stockton-on-Tees. Okay, so he's a Newcastle representative, I think. And also, I'm a New Zealander who loves Canada, especially the ladies. And there says Justin, also your thoughts on New Zealand and Canada, says Robert. So we're talking about, I guess, the sevens side of things, aren't we there? But the thing is, I really like what Canada did in their game up against Argentina for the men's side of things. And also currently, there are a whole heap of sevens matches going on as we sit live. I'm quickly going to get a couple of those fixtures or the results for you guys. And he's a big-eared Geordie. And there's our Geordie then, says Sebastian. Yeah. So I wasn't, where did I say he was from? I didn't say Newcastle, did I? Or did I? No, where did I say? Birmingham? No, Blackpool, I said. Wasn't it? And also we've got there, England says Johnny Long and strong. And I love the Storm, don't get me wrong, but if I'm backing the Rebels, there is just something more enjoyable about backing them. And also, are you sure that accent isn't Welsh or South African? Although he does have Durban in the schooling system. So I wonder whether or not, oh no, Durham school, not Durban, sorry. Wrong way around. And thoughts on USA versus Australia, says Robert. It's a good matchup between those two. And I'm glad to see the USA getting themselves that win because it's just going to be, I guess, propelling them a little bit further in the competition. And hopefully we do get to see a matchup. He's a Geordie, says Pip there. And also we've got that. Also Crusaders versus Reds will be a good game. And also New Zealand is fun. And now is it the Ducks season? It does indeed. Oh, Lucas Ripley almost did an ankle down the wing. But currently there is a match of the sevens going on right as we speak. And that is the matchup taking place between New Zealand and Canada. And it is sitting 12-0 in favour of the New Zealand woman now driving forward. In fact, yes, it is the woman who are playing. Next game, it is Fiji versus South Africa. That will be a good game to watch. Now, Aidan Morgan running for currently 42 minutes through. The Blues are playing next up against the Brumbies. So they'll be watching this game eagerly to see who could be the opposition. It could be the Hurricanes. Peter Umaga Jensen, loose ball. It's really scrappy from the Hurricanes, but good run forward from Duplessis Karifi to be able to get it sorted back out. Now pass back across. Nice stepping from TK Howden there. Perenara does receive it. Zaya Wakalewere goes back to Peter Umaga Jensen, tries to flick it on the inside. Tyrell Lomax juggles. Now it will be in the hands of Andrew Callaway. No one can hang on to this ball at this current point in time. Everyone is juggling it. It looks like the Rebels now have found themselves just a little bit of structure there, and also they're going to that line or over to that place. And yeah, it says Mark Roberts. Now going back to the 22 to Carter Gordon, and he puts up the big one. Taken nicely by Aidan Morgan, who has been playing very nicely since making his debut not too long ago. It looks like Ponefa Masili actually tackled himself. He's fallen over there. And it looks like he's very slow getting up. So I'm not too sure whether or not there is an injury, but I would think maybe they make that sub relatively soon if he is struggling. Michael Wells wins the penalty, and there's currently a player down. I think that's Jordan Ulesi, and he has had so many injuries throughout this season, and I hope it's nothing to do with the chest area or the ribs, because I know that he's been struggling big time in the last little while. But currently now Matt Tamua Looks like he's going to be kicking this one for the touchline. Just going to check the odds because currently I would think there is definitely a high possibility that the Hurricanes could win this game. And also I'm assuming there's dew on the ground with that soapy ball. There's Sammy Souza. There's got to be. Or else both coaches would have been absolutely hating that last little play between the sides. And also Western Foils versus Moana on Tuesday. It certainly is. Will be a 7:05 p.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. And we will be covering that game on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport. I think that's almost one of the first times that I've actually mentioned it, other than maybe once on the last live stream. Good run forward from Ponefa Amasili with a good attack and run. But what I will do is I will go to the Kiwi Lad Sport and I will get you guys a link for that second channel if you do want to check it out. It is hugely appreciated. We are currently only 135 away from reaching the 1,000. So if you do want to help us out, be sure to. That is the link. Go Black Ferns. Doing fine so far in Duluth 7, says MHO. They certainly are, and hopefully they can continue that momentum heading into the later stages. You're following the classic All Blacks game. The plan for that one is going to be we will probably do Leinster versus Munster, but we will be watching it on the second screen and keep you guys informed of all of the tries, who's looking good throughout that classic All Blacks versus Spain game. It's just I probably don't know enough about the Spanish team to be able to provide decent commentary, even though I know a bit about the All Blacks guys, of course. I just feel like it might be a little bit too one-sided. That's stolen by Jordan Ulysses. And now it's going to be a foot race. He puts up the kick and chase. Geordie Barrett trying to line it up, and he's taken the mark. Nicely done there by Geordie Barrett. Half-time, 26 points to 8. Nice. And there says Justin. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it does go for the later stages. But I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of Conrad Smith. Jerome Kano, I don't know whether or not he is actually playing. He was actually at the Toulouse Sevens yesterday. And alongside that, the Gear brothers, Jose Gear, Rico Gear. Also, Corey Flynn's going to be there. Luke McAllister, all these classic names for the All Blacks. Rearing to go for one more match. And also, Moana will be battling hard, or battle hardened from the turnaround, says Sammy Souza. And also, we got to subscribe to the sports channel for game previews and extra channel for gaming and swearing. Sebastian knows it. Very much so. But yeah, the Kiwi Lads Sport, Kiwi Lads Extras, Kiwi Lads Reacts, and also Kiwi Lads Clips are all of the channels that we have got, but we need to get a few more of them a little bit more active. I'm currently working on the process of deciding whether or not I should possibly get an editor to then be able to get more videos out each week. But then I don't know whether or not it will work well with the schedule. And also, do you think the Hurricanes will hit 50? For me, not quite. But the thing is, most sides, once they reach 30, they do get to 50 in this competition. And Moana will be battle hard. And also in swearing, says Johnny Long and strong. And then also, I hope so. I predict the Hurricanes to get 54 points. And it'll be a hard game for Moana Pacifica to beat the Brumbies. And that's why it's going to be sitting out now for Julian Savia. Pop pass on the inside to TJ Perenara. Does find the offload off to Josh Morby, who does jump over the top of him. And also Brazil did well against the Maori. So it doesn't hurt to see Spain take out their frustration towards their own federation on the classic ABs. And that's the thing. I just really hope everyone gets through that game without any injuries for Spain and the classic All Blacks. Like, the last thing you want when you're 44 years old, like Rico Gear, is to do a hammy or something like that, because it will just take that much longer to be able to recover. But it is a penalty against the Hurricanes once again now. Now Matt Tamua. Let's kick it for the touchline, and it does go out. That's a great kick from Matt Tamua. And also now the Hurricanes won't pass 50 according to my computer. Emotionally, they will be stuck at 48. And let's go classic All Blacks. And they're from Justin. Now ready to go for this one. An editor, woo, bro. I love your growth, so you deserve every success that comes your way. Also says Johnny Long and Strong. Yeah, because at the moment we've got George doing the Kiwi Lads Extras videos, because that's his kind of project, I guess you could say. And he does enjoy doing the gaming videos and whatnot. He actually added some censoring in the other day, which I was confused about for a start, because I know he loves the swearing side of things. I think he only censored every occasional swear word, though. Now Tuttle goes back across. Looks like big Cobra seal off. So I did mention that they might take off Ponefa Amasili. They've actually taken off the other man. Now Matamua, wide cut out pass that sits up nicely for Richard Hardwick. Good attacking run up to the 22 now for the Rebels. And the thing is, if they score a try now, they're still right under that Brazil scrum. There's Johnny Long and Strong, and also TJP overdue for a try. So I got him anytime second half try scorer. So here's John, and also we've got that. Thanks, Mark Blue. Oh, Mark Blue, this will be interesting to see, brother. Currently now hanging on to this one. Tuttle passes it back across. It is Ponefa-Amasili. Maybe one of his last runs of the day. Tyrell Lomax tries to get over the ball. Gives away the penalty in the process. And now 48 minutes through. Tyrell Lomax will be a bit disappointed with the way that one ended up going. But anyone who is new, like I mentioned, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back for the next game between the Blues and the Brumbies. That is odd. Usually he doesn't even censor the C word, says Sebastian. And there, yeah. So I think he decided he'd try it out. He probably has given up on it now and might go back to just having the swearing in it as well. But that career mode for the Warriors, we're hoping to turn their season around and the club around in general. So we'll have to wait and see how it ends up going. But currently 49 minutes through this game now. And Jordan Ulesi about to throw on this one. This could be a good opportunity for the Rebels. Try and get themselves another try. The Tupis just need some spark in the back line to back up the iconic scrum. Says it was Sammy Sosa, and also will the Rebels score next, says Novmum. I think they got a decent chance here. Definitely with this rolling maul starting to open up for them. They're only a few meters out. Sammy Sosa, can you imagine the Spanish player's frustration? Want to be the bloke who'd okay that player? Says Fleshin. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's one player that it costs not just the team, but also a whole nation their spot. And I guess George censors farts too, if you know what I mean, says Sammy Sosa. And also George needs clean his mouth out with soap. My primary school teacher made us do this. Soko. That's going to be the try, and it is actually Lucas Ripley once again who does score for the Rebels. And nicely done by the Rebels there. And Ripley picks up a double for his efforts out on the wing. And he did come on the match, or did come on the field relatively early for Reece Hodges' injury. Has now scored again. And also here we got the about the frustration in there, but yeah, like that's a lot of teams. And also, all poor nation. Oh, yes. Sebastian won't mind. Romania are through to the World Cup now. At the stage, they don't have to go through that repechage. And yes, schooling was pretty hard back in the 80s. And there says Justin. I remember we went to like an old school for like a museum trip. Or something along those lines. And it had like the old like kind of trains and whatnot as well. Because it was like a combined area. And I remember they had it so that we had to be in a scenario of working in the classroom. And then if someone talked, they'd be like, right, you have to go out the back of the class. And then the person, like, they'd have the strap. And they'd be like, right, we're going to make the noise. You got to go, ow, okay? And then you just hear, ow. And it got to the stage how everyone was just trying to do the most out-of-place ow that they could possibly do. And someone did it before the slap even happened, which was quite funny. And also I remember having the strap 6 of the best on both hands and one occasionally 6 of the best kings on the butt. It's going to be a nice shot from Matt Moore. It's gone over. Now the score will be 15 points to the Rebels and 26 to the Hurricanes. Canes all day, says Novmum. Says Obi there. And also that was in the 90s. I like, what kind of crazy adult would make the kids do that? And joking aside, I would feel bad for them if it was their first mistake, but they literally didn't know. But they have committed it twice, and now it's just idiotic. Yeah, it's that whole thing of fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, isn't it? I think I finally learned what that saying is. And the Fairs needs to take eligibility rules seriously. And also we have got that they seem like they're as laid back as the PI unions with a casual approach. And also, what do you think of the Caterpillar Mall? And there says Obi, I assume that's the one how it kind of halfway breaks off, and then like kind of a little bit of, it is called truck and trailer sometimes, isn't it? If there's that separation. But yeah, as long as it's not too obvious that they're doing it in a way that is not a fair manner, I think, yeah, it's always going to be about, because there's always going to be little break-offs. I find it interesting when there's a player holding on to like the guy's shorts and he's way behind, because that almost, I guess that probably is the Caterpillar one, isn't it? Now I think about it. Ada Morgan now passes it off into the hands of the big man at number 16, Saula May, getting his opportunity here now, trying to go through Josh Morby. He has actually been pretty quiet throughout this game. And Centipede. And as I said, Johnny Long and Strong now waiting for this ball to bounce up. It is Isaiah Wakaliwere taking it nicely. And we'll go like this. And we will go like this as well. I'm just making sure that George has not changed his plans. There we go. Because I know that Isaac is unavailable, the human one. And there says Johnny Long and Strong. Yeah, initially George was going to be coming around for the evening of rugby. A bit one of my teachers when I was 5. I was a vicious child, and Kilbilla is as ugly as the Northern Hemisphere rugby it came from, says Dexter. And also we have got the hey bro, by the way, says Dexter. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well, mate. And I hope you are excited for the Blues versus Brumbies. Everyone that I have talked to, that is the game that everyone is waiting for. Even people who support the Hurricanes, support the Chiefs, support the Highlanders, everyone wants to see Blues versus Brumbies. And it is coming up in only about an hour and 35 minutes time. That's a loose ball. And the Rebels now waiting for this one. Pops back up to TJ Perenara. Loose ball. It's going back for the penalty. And Aussie 78 here and only 10 likes. If you are here first time, kindly like and subscribe. CC, make sure you hit the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. It is our second channel. We do a few previews on that channel each week. And we have got plenty more videos coming up on there. Not just rugby-based, but also general sports. So be sure to check that out. Currently on the road to 1K. And as a man who plays in the backs, I never understood a lot of these forward rules, says Justin there. And also, I'm in Spain for a few weeks in the summer, and I'll try and find out if anyone knows about the Rugby World Cup, says Fleshin. And also, that's better than excluding the French. They play the best rugby in the world at the moment. And also, Jose Guerra was a monster. I remember him running straight through about 3 or 4 Irish players, doing his best impression of the great Jonah Lomu try, especially, obviously, except obviously Jonah was versus the English. And Jose Guerra, he is actually going to be playing in that match later on. And Joey Edwards has said Blues versus Brumbies is going to be a fire game. It certainly is. Julian Savia moving up to the 22 now. Can't wait to see the Gear Bros run around the game massive. Now backline, Aidan Morgan. It's a loose one. James Backwell picks it up nicely. Now Geordie Barrett, not a lot of space. That was Glenn Vai, who I swear just led with his head and nothing else. That would be a risky tackling technique. Could lead to a concussion or two. But now Owen Franks driving hard at the line. He looks like he did about 10 years ago. That man is now the age of 34. And that was a penalty to the Hurricanes. Now for that one in the 70s, I graduated with an A in detention, riding lines, testing the leather belt. And then the cane in multiples of 6. Maybe who I am today, says Mark. Enrico Gear was insanely good, and he is also playing. And that one, and also as that play says Obi, Johnny Long and Strong is Johnny Blaze indeed. And go the Hurricanes, says Tiger Hall, and they are currently only a few meters out. Cyril Mai goes in and does get it. Seula Mai being able to score it nicely. And he used that periscope of his arm and does go in. We will go like this. And it was initially going to be a Safa Amua who was off the bench, but instead Mai has come in late and he has been able to score himself that try in the 55th minute. And now the Hurricanes trying to take that bonus point straight back, but it was good work from the Hurricanes continuing to recycle. And did he get banned again? No, he broke his phone and can't remember the password of the other one, and can't wait to see the Gear Bros run around. And I'll say that is Johnny, says Dexter. And also I'm putting my money on the Blues. I believe at this stage they are favourites as well, and lost my money, I think, says Max there. You never know though. Game of rugby can be a strange thing, and there's still plenty of time left. And also Flesh, and that's interesting. Says Jose's try was against the Irish when he played for the Māori All Blacks. And there says Johnny, or sorry, says John. Now, Geordie Barrett, he has brought up 600 points for the Hurricanes. He is 76 away from David Howell. Then he is way ahead of Christian Cullen and also Jimmy Goffith, but he's got a long way to go before he catches his brother, Bowden Barrett. Line up for Geordie, strikes it all right. And it has gone down the middle, so now the score, it does elevate just a little bit more, and it will be 33 points to 15 in favour of the Hurricanes. And yeah, the face palms and the laughing face from Obi. And also 1 to 10 for the Hurricanes, I'm betting. So here's Max there. And also, Hurricanes have won 8 straight games against the Rebels since losing the first meeting in 2011. And also another stat is that the Rebels have never won up against the Hurricanes on New Zealand soil, in which Māori ABs, we know New Zealand Māori, Aotearoa Māoris instead, with the AB Sevens. It's like there's only one All Blacks, and there says Johnny Long and Strong. Now taken nicely by Josh Morby. Does now kick it downfield. Joe Powers made his way out onto the park, and that is for James Tuttle. And also could Scott B captain the ABs? And yeah, if they've still got Whitelock, I think they'll go with him or Savia. But for me, Scott Barrett's discipline isn't what it needs to be. And if it was a lot better, I think he could have the opportunity, because he has got those leadership qualities, but it's just he spends more time in the bin than he does on the field at times. So that is why it's a little bit of trouble if the Blues lose. Do they go down to second, says Tiger Hall? Not quite. They will still be in first, but it does mean that the Crusaders have got a chance of being able to finish first on the table rather than in second. Losing pole position, the Brumbies in second standing. Going to be a great battle ahead, says MH Joy. Yeah, currently, it goes Blues in first, Crusaders in second, and then the Brumbies in third. But it is the number one New Zealand side versus the number one Australian side for that upcoming match. Looks like Josh Morby may have taken some heavy contact. Okay, he looked a little bit wobbly, so I think he's going to go off for an HIA now. And also, MH Joy, where are you from, my friend? From Malaysia. Fun fact, and also, are you going to stream Blues versus Brumbies, says Joey Edits? I certainly am. And we are going to be live for that game at 9:45 p.m. So currently an hour and 20 minutes time. And also, we have got Xavier captain. He's just an awesome man. More so off the field and leads by example on the field, says Johnny. So yeah, I think Xavier will get it. Who will lead the haka for the ABs? I mean, if they've got TJ Perenara, they'll probably go with him. If they've got Aaron Smith for the haka, they'll go with him. If they don't have either of those two, I guess maybe Dane Coles if he's there. And also, we've got that from the Christie lead the haka Uso. Says Johnny. Now going wide, Julian Xavier. Oh, it's a good cheap shot from Glenn Vaihu. I know now he's getting back up to his feet there for Julian Xavier. Slowly, but surely. And like they're saying, he's been extremely busy throughout this game, Julian Xavier, so probably deserves to have a little bit of a break every once in a while out there on the field. He's just been absolutely searched for it. Also, we've got that. It's TJ Perenara, and also computer algorithm programs looks pretty good at this stage. Says Justin, and also we've got that. Johnny, stop meffing around. Says Mark. But now that one, 140 they are talking about for Julian Xavier, and also some more Canes far out. Says Amelia, and also we have got their Psych. And as I said, Joey Edits with Xavier, 1 try, 9 carries, 79 meters carried, and a few broken tackles in the process as well. Right, what are they going to decide here? Looks like they are going scrum, and it's more what are they going to do off the set play here that I'm curious about, and also all that corporal punishment and a Mangere, and of course bull rush. And there, as I says Mark, and also too much slanders, says Mark there. Currently now it is going to be sitting there 60 minutes and 30 seconds, and also I love the thought of the Crusaders Waratahs quarterfinal. Says Glenn, it would be a massive clash. That's the thing for me. Like the ideal semi-finals would be, or quarterfinals. Either way, I want to see these rematches. I want to see it as Hurricanes versus Blues, and I want to see the other matchup of the Waratahs versus Crusaders. I want to see those rematches of the matches that had the underdog winning them. See if they can go through once again. And TJP and Adi Xavier, co-captains maybe, and Seven Rees could lead the haka as well. And also we have got the opposition tremble and fear. Geez, Johnny Long and strong there. Yeah, it's an interesting one because if they do lose Perenara, Smith, and Coles, then who leads is probably that massive question. Do you go with, I guess, who would you go with? David Harvili? No, I don't know whether or not he has led too many. And so, I mean, if Billy Proctor's in there, he might get to lead it. And the midfield would also be the Blues. Well, 50 points unlikely. Go second place, even losing Brumbies, only 43 points now in second place. So here's MH Joy as well. Currently 62 minutes through this game. And also Quinton Pai could lead the haka. I was thinking about him. But then I thought about it and I thought, seeing as he's only had a few caps, does that mean that they might not let him do it? But if he does, I feel like he'd do pretty well. He's a fired-up man out on the field. So we have got there, he's gone too far, or he's gone too gone, or he's far too gone, mate. Or he's too far gone, mate. And that one, or Whakatava if he makes this, is Max Cottle. And also we have that Aaron Smith will make it. Yeah, he certainly should. I'm just worried if there's some sort of injury or something that does take him out. But he will still be at the World Cup, I believe, if he's match fit. And we're going to go. But the points by the quarter, the moment, the fourth quarter, between 61 and 80 minutes, is when the Hurricanes have scored the most points out of any side by the quarter, 118 in there. And that is absolutely, it's huge for a side in the last 20 minutes of a game. And they look like they want to continue that record with Seula Ma'i sitting at the back now. Waiting for it now. And also, the bus went straight through some depression a couple of seasons back. I'm glad to see he came through okay. Big shout out the bus. And as long as the leader don't worry in the year, they belong to Piri. And as El says, I wonder whether or not Piri Wepu, like, because I know that he was on that show, wasn't he? That was like the ex-players who were all playing. And there, that one now is going to be going into touch. A decent kick downfield from Andrew Callaway, but a rare touch from, and also thoughts on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck having a chance at the ABs. It's a tricky one because for me, he's probably like if he had the Bunnings NBC and he was able to have a few games in that, like maybe 10 games of that and then Super Rugby, I think I'd say yes. But because he's still extremely new to the union side of things, kind of refinding it from when he was playing first 15, I think that's kind of like if he's not in there for this one, I think he'll be there for the end of year tour. And that makes sense. And I was imagining looking out the bedroom window at night and you barely see Reese pulling some Pukana. And then to right, Justin says William, and also we heard that that's true. Justin Island boy out of the water in arrest by a Richmond and never picked up a rugby ball in his life, says Mark Blue. Now currently hanging on to that one. Geordie Barrett marches forward for the Hurricanes. Porirakati Stones does get going. And when he gets going, he normally gets gone. And we'll keep on going for the rest of the matchup. But Isaiah Wakaliawere, it looks like Karifi off the field, and that is actually for Scott Scrafton. Now in the hands of Billy Proctor, who keeps on going. Joe Powell able to make the tackle on him, though. 25 metres out from the line now for the Hurricanes. Back across Scott Scrafton at 19 for this match. Then another goes back to Morgan. Now Billy Proctor tries to step his way through. Now Pity the play is too large now. And also he wasn't invited to the Classic ABs game. So I wonder who the ABs that haven't been announced are going to be. I feel like that's the exciting thing. You'll look and you'll see random guys tuning up. Like someone said that Dan Carter was actually at the conference for it, which is kind of cool because you never know. Maybe Dan Carter gets himself a little bit of late time. And Roger, we have values to the ABs midfield. And they're definitely if Rico Ioane's injured, I think he will certainly be able to do quite well. But I think chucking him in the deep end up against Ireland with only about 10 caps would be pretty risky. So either they do that or maybe you have him in the squad, but he doesn't get a huge amount of time. Maybe you give him like one game just to help him out a little bit. And I feel like that will be the confidence booster that he needs. Because if you throw him straight in the deep end and he gets like dominated by a tough Irish midfield, then I think that will really do something to his confidence. That's Duplessis Karefi. Nice backline movement. Josh Morby goes into touch. Wasn't quite able to reach out for that one after 17 phases. I'd love to see Roger in the ABs. I think he would be going for that 12 jersey, wouldn't he? Because currently we've got a few decent 12s, but do we have someone who can take them to the next level in that midfield? That is that big question. I wonder how a combination of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck at 12, Jack Goodhue at 13 would go. If Rico Ioane is injured, that is. If not, you probably just go with that Blues midfield combo as those two have had a bit of time together in recent times. But that was a great tackle made by the number 17. I think that might have been Matt Gibbon was able to make the tackle there. Now currently it is going to be the line out. Oh, okay. That went wrong. That went very wrong. They went for the line out over the top. I was wondering what happened, and it was an awkward bounce. Brad Wilkin, it popped out of his hands. Then from there, a couple phases, and the Hurricanes go over for another try. I appreciate your honesty, Johnny. Long and strong. I think TWB has another round or something in the basement magic. And also, do you think Fozzie and co influence the Hurricanes into making Geordie Barrett a 12? Don't know. It's tricky to say, but Geordie Barrett now at number 12 has been able to get himself a try. And the question is whether or not he does go there for the ABs. Okay, it's cutting up pretty rough outside, I do here. So if it does all of a sudden go dark, it is because the power has gone out, ladies and gentlemen. I don't believe it will, but I just have to clarify. If it does, you know why. It also has an outside of the Murray ABs. Haka, it's more of a watch than the actual AB one. Says Flesh in there. There is certainly a lot of passion on the face of the players, but that is 40 points to 15 now for the Hurricanes. And depends on how well Ireland plays. If they come out hissing, then we will need the first 15 to be playing, says Mark. And also it was suggested that the ABs go for a dedicated specialist on number 12, says MH Joy. And also I don't like the idea of Geordie being 12, and we currently have some really strong centre combinations. Yeah, I guess it's just picking one and going with it. You don't want to muddle it too much, or else then it is going to be tricky. And also Roger Tuivasa-Sheck maybe last game if they're leading 2-0. And there you go. I think that will be the way that they do it. Maybe have him come off the bench in the second game just to slowly build him in. You don't want to try and chuck him in there for like 80 minutes in his very first match. Just because I know that the Irish ruck speed is insane. So that is why it will be very tough for the All Blacks backline. We have also got there pretty much why I look forward to the two sets with Ireland for the Maori. And then All Blacks pitch anyone but Fozzie. I'm sure he picked that 2019 semi-final squad There's over now past the back. Scrafton gives it off to Geordie Barrett. Nice run forward now. Caleb Delaney gets his ankle taken out from underneath him. And now the Hurricanes look like they're starting to break through just a little bit easier than they were in the earlier stages. And also we've got the it's been confirmed by Holland. But midfield is congested. Here's a great 15, should remain there. And I guess at the moment with Damien McKenzie away in Japan, it does give him more opportunities at fullback. Bring back Ma'a. And there's us, Mark. I mean, at the moment he's tearing it up in the MLR. So perhaps in the future we do get to see the return of Ma'a Nonu for the classic ABs, perhaps. Now Julian Savi, the bus tries to go for it. Oh, he's landed on the ball awkwardly. And it was a good shot on him by Carter Gordon. And now he's trying to get back up to his feet. The bus, he has certainly put in a shift. He's been working on his fitness tirelessly over the Bunnings NPC season for Wellington and also now during Super Rugby. And yet we done for. So here's Amelia there as well. And at the moment for the Rebels, it just seems like they're in survival mode. Although Kobus Eloff, oh, he's won a penalty for his side. Nicely done by Kobus. And also Leon McDonald and Scott Robertson being coaches for the ABs. Says Joey Edit. It'd be an interesting one. I know that it was rumoured, wasn't it? And breaking news just said Whakatawa All Blacks debut. Breaking news just said Whakatawa All Blacks debut versus Irish in July. And also Laumapi and Akira totally got robbed over Ryan Made a Glass Crotty and Jacobson Frizzell, bro, even Marito in 2019 World Cup team. Here's Johnny Long and Strong. But yeah, I mean, Akira Ioane, he recently, I think he's starting to get his name out there a little bit more. But then you've got Ethan Blackadder, who's just come out of, well, everyone knew for a while he was an absolute beast. But he's just continued to keep on getting better and better. And Luke Jacobson, you'd have to say, really, he worked hard to get a spot. So it's who they go with. Sam Kane might be injured. And Hal Max. And as I said, Petty Wagon, and also me, Bears are going down. Sweet Brothers says Hemi there and up the Canes. And are they going to be worth a watch? So there's Flesh in there as well. Now currently driving forward. But yeah, 2 matches between the Māori All Blacks and also Ireland. I'd also give it to me, Hemi. Here's Johnny Long and Strong. But now Matt Moore. Ball on the inside off to Josh Canham, who's up to the 22-metre line. The Rebels, can they do it? I think the hand's on the ball. He's given away the penalty for Billy Proctor, he decided to take it anyway. He's getting slapped around by Joe Powell. Oh, Douglas Ikarefi, of course, straight in there. And also, we were there, they did mention it as part of the Irish tour of New Zealand. Another big difference in scoring and Whakatawa for sure. Future AB's halfback and there's Hemi as well. So I guess, how many beers have you had, Hemi? Is probably a good question. Cody Taylor could lead. Says Johnny, he could, although at the moment got an injury. So I'm not too sure whether or not he will be available for All Black selection. Kick for the corner from Matt Tamua, Cody Taylor Haka. And there as well. And also about the Irish tour. So I believe those are 2 games happening in early July, or actually late June it might be. And those ones are taking place between the Māori All Blacks and also Ireland. Those 2 matches are just going to be as exciting as the All Blacks matches. I have a feeling. Now, Kobus Eloff does, or in fact, sorry, James Hansen throws it in, and no Cody Taylor, or no Kane Taylor is probably a blessing in disguise. Took a time, Samisoni Takeaho and Dolts take those positions. They're far superior to their counterparts. There's Johnny Long and Strong, but now around the side. Hanging on to this ball nicely for the Rebels, and it looks like Joe Powell, he's starting to get this back line nicely set. Hansen get driven backwards now. Josh Canham around the side with the pick and go. Taken out by Duplessis Karefi. Canham looks like he's holding his ankle as well, which is something you don't like to see for a big man. Oh, no, he's running, and now it's going to be the try, or sorry, not the try, the Hurricanes penalty for this house. And also we have got there, and that is what it is. On to next week, from what I remember, the Rebels are doing like a fan day kind of thing next week. So that would be pretty awesome, and hopefully you do get a chance. Chris Marsui going to put on some bigger hits. Bonfire, and also England should have toured New Zealand, Ireland touring South Africa, and Wales touring Aussie, don't you think? Says Ellie. I would have loved to see New Zealand, England, because we haven't really seen it too often. And alongside that, I mean, Wales versus Australia and South Africa versus Ireland, I mean, even if they switch those 2, just because of the fact that I know that Australia are going to have Wales in their group stage and South Africa are going to have Ireland in their group stage. So if they wanted to switch those 2, but I definitely agree we should have more matches up against England. But I think we have got them in the end of year tour, same as South Africa. And Ethan Blackadder will be the new Richie McCaw with better management. And yes, Stephen Donald is a legend up there with Carter and McCaw. And also, yes, I can't wait for this exceptional year for the All Blacks. We have 3 All Black teams playing an amazing historical year. And also, nice call, Mark Lou. And also we have got to have to say I'm more interested in the Irish tour in New Zealand than my Wales getting a possible beatdown in South Africa. He's fleshing. Yeah, those are going to be tough matches. You're pretty much going in, like in the URC, away from home, up against a side who love playing at home. As Rugby England has toured twice over the past 2 cycles. Played Australia far too many times, plus like New Zealand versus Wales too much. So here's Johnny Blaze. So yeah, he is hoping that there will be a few more matches. I wasn't joking. Mark is like, oh God. And there, so here's Mark now passing it back across. I remember when I saw him in Rugby Challenge 4, and it was very exciting. That was a missed kick opportunity. Now Aidan Morgan back in his pace. Josh Kenham trying to catch him. He's not going to be able to, though. And Aidan Morgan scores the try. And now the Hurricanes, they move up to 45 points with still another 7 minutes left in this match. And this one's becoming more and more one-sided now. I still can't believe that TJ Perenara didn't get himself a try, though, because I thought he would have been able to set himself up with one in the earlier stages. But that is now another try in favour of the Hurricanes. We have got there almost everyone is expecting clean sweep 3-0. South Africa, the GOAT, number 12. No one else or none other compared to Nonu, and also, well, someone has to mark blue, and also sorry for lots of questions, but it was better Beauden Barrett or Richie Mo'unga. That is one that really splits opinions. It's like the pineapple on pizza debate. Some people love it, some people hate it, and each kind of has their preference. For me, international level-wise, I think Beauden Barrett has proven himself a little bit more, just because he's been around for a bit longer and also can unleash some magic. But then Richie Mo'unga, there's a reason that they do say Mo'unga magic. And if he can really fire up at the AB's level, he will be certainly dangerous. And England have blooded a heck of a lot of new players lately. Says William, and also the Blues game is almost on. It certainly is. And Frank Bunce was a great midfielder. And also, I totally agree, Obi, in that one as well. But currently, the Hurricanes, they are sitting on 45 points. Geordie Barrett, 5 from 6. Now getting ready to go. Like they're saying, Aidan Morgan, he's looking very good at this stage for the Hurricanes. Is Rico still injured? Geordie will be a good number 12, Beauden at 10, brother to brother. And there as well says John. So I believe Rico at this stage, he didn't play for the Blues, or he isn't playing for the Blues today. That one hasn't quite on where Geordie wanted it to. It went way out to the side there. But 45-15 is the score as we currently sit. Mo'unga is more gifted. He's won multiple Super Rugby Player of the Year awards for a reason. And there says Alex, yeah, see, Super Rugby-wise, I pick Richie Mo'unga. International-wise, I pick Beauden Barrett. And then I feel like as they keep on playing more, it's more just finding what kind of role they're both going to play. Because if they're both trying to go for playmaker, I didn't find that the combination of Mo'unga at 10, Beauden Barrett at 15 worked, because it was too many playmakers in the same area going for different things. So whoever's playmaker, they need to make sure that they are the lone playmaker, or maybe a little bit of a combo with someone else in there. And also Beauden Barrett can play a lot more positions. And there says Obi, and also we have Sosa. We have our usual injury list, and the clueless Pivak has ignored some of the better young players for the tired old ones. And also about Wales winning in South Africa. Colin Meads made this statement as we got on the phone, or as he got on the plane. We went on the field, but knew at full time the officials wouldn't let us win on the scoreboard. Here's Mark Blue. But that one is now going to be into touch by the Hurricanes. One last attacking opportunity possibly for the Rebels here. Get themselves another try. So the bonus point is still firmly in the hands of the Hurricanes. They have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tries for themselves. 7 tries, in fact. So, yeah, the bonus point is well and truly secured, as the Rebels have only got the 2 tries, and they were both scored by Lucas Ripley, the number 22, to make his way off the bench for the injury of Reesodge, which I hope is nothing too serious. Because if Reesodge is out for a long time, that will not be good for the Australians. For the international side of things, Rob Leota, good attack and run from him. He's got back up to his feet after the tackle of Siulamali. Now going back across to Koba Seeloff using that size. And that's how I feel about Fozzie and Hansen at this later stages of coaching responsibilities. Now going to be Joe Powell trying to snipe through. Found the offload up. Richard Hardwick getting involved. McKenzie's current experience and exposure shall do him good. Not only the pocket. And there says MH Joy. And yeah, I guess it's just a whole new side of rugby, isn't it, playing in Japan? Like, you get that fast-paced game combined with the other side of things. Ripley gets the hat trick. And nicely done for Lucas Ripley. I think he might have done a rib in the process. And he looks like he's in quite a bit of pain, but he will also know that that's 3 from 3 for him tonight. He has got the hat trick. And he is the one Rebels player who has been able to cross the line, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times for Lucas Ripley. And also, it's no wonder you fans are scratching their heads at what Pavak is doing. And in Japan, Says he made sure has Bernardo scored yet. My man says Jeffrey Fockerd, he has not. And he was also not out on the field anymore for TJ Bernardo. He had a very good game, had about 2 or 3 assists. But unfortunately for him, just didn't manage to get themselves the try. At least we don't lose that badly, says Amelia. And also, Ali has won more awards because he was playing in the Crusaders structure and had multiple playmakers on the field. Has happened, once has happened for years. North Harbour has a fabled $1 million backline one time at Amish. Yes, I know what you mean. As also, or the comment from David the Mod. But yeah, for some reason, like those two, it's kind of like magnets. Like this is, I'm going to have to do it with more than just one finger or else it looks sexual. But this is Richie Mo'unga. This is Beauden Barrett. Some magnets stick straight together. For them, they kind of, they don't quite find it in the link up. And also Beauden Barrett or Andre Pollard. And there says Ellie. Both very good players. And you'd have to say both very different styles. And also, we're going to speaking of Japan. I'm not surprised, or it's not surprising that AB's players are even more exceptional when they return to New Zealand, says Sammy Souza. And also, what's happened to Bernardo. He did go off the field just due to the time in the game, seeing as it was quite late. So no injury or anything like that. But he is just unable to score in this matchup, sadly. Julian Savia, Blake Gibson, Billy Proctor, Blackwell, Marley, Barrett, and Morgan, all the try scorers for the Hurricanes, but just not the try that they were after for Bernardo by the sounds of it. And also midfielders have to be very talented, multi-skilled, with great defense statement only. And there says it was Justin, and also opposites attract. And he says, Obi, sometimes they do. That is what they say. If you're in a relationship with someone who's completely different to you, sometimes it goes the best. Other times it can be an absolute shambles, but that's going to be now stolen back by the Rebels. They actually got the intercept. They're the Hurricanes, but now the Rebels have got it back. Who was faster, Rico Ioane or Caleb Clark? I think Rico a little bit. But it would be a very exciting foot race to watch. And now, speaking of foot races, it's going to be Lucas Ripley now trying to run down the wing. He's kicked it straight into the Hurricanes player, Geordie Barrett. And it will be the Rebels now with 30 seconds left on the clock. Oh, my cousin just walked out. They went to Murray Highlanders game. I think the thing is the Highlanders are peaking at the right time, I think. Whereas the Waratahs, they've had a lot of close games recently. So I would say Highlanders, but it could be the Waratahs. But it is going to be played at full. So I'm a Scarlet, and he was good for us. But honestly, it's been a disaster for Wales, especially young players. And there as well, says Fletchen. And also we have got there as a Highlanders going to win it, brother. Any plans to reintroduce the full suit on game day, says Ellie. I'm glad you asked, because there is a little bit of a plan, and that is going to be for the quarterfinal matchups. I believe there is going to be some sort of suit involved, or maybe semifinals. One of those big matches, though, the full suit is coming back. Okay. No advantage. I think there was a knock on. Lucas Ripley staying down. Is that full time, or because the siren went just after? I think we've actually still got just a little bit more time. Maybe. And also, we get there. Who's your try scorer? And there's Jeffrey Fockerd. As in for who I thought was going to score in this game, or who's going to score in that next game, I guess. It's a tricky one. I'll think you want just one try scorer from one team or each team, Jeffrey. I'll try my best, but I'll probably get it wrong. To be honest, and Pivot can't have 23 Kiwis on the field, only 3 or 5 at a time. Now, as Julian played, he's played phenomenally in this game. He's beaten a lot of defenders, scored himself a try, almost 100 metres carried. Been very impressive for him, and at least Wales are still formidable, especially with the Rugby World Cup pool they're in. Says Sammy Souza, but I think Marino Makele too should have a decent chance of being able to score himself a try in that game up against the Waratahs, just because they may need to use those physical forwards. Now Joe Powell goes off to Lucas Ripley. Now getting wrestled towards the touchline by Cam Roygaard, but still keeping it alive. 81 minutes through now. And it's going to be back. It's a bit of a rough pass. Does sit up, and it's going to be the knock-on. That is the end of the game. And it is going to be the Hurricanes who do win it. 45 points to 22. What was your prediction, Mark Blue? Because I feel like you weren't a mile off that, were you? At the very start, I am going back in time. Where am I? 8:17. It's actually quite far back, isn't it? That it was. I said 30 or 48-31. Not too bad overall for that prediction. And also we have got there Blues versus Brumbies on soon. Says Johnny Blaze, it certainly is. Should be an exciting game. And we are covering that one on the channel as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the Kiwi Lads Sport as well. And also, in 10 minutes' time, we have got a video coming up on the main channel on the Kiwi Lads. And that will be our video doing a preview for Samoa taking on South Africa. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, and I'll say how late the game has gone. Be on YouTube, says Zayton. So I believe the highlights for the game will be up in about 30 minutes time on the Super Rugby channel, the All Blacks YouTube channel, and also Stan Sport. We'll have some highlights as well, and I'll come back, says Joey, so we will see you a little bit later on. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all